Alicia, thanks. We're just about to start. And did anyone else join? Okay. Okay, I think we're good, Bagat, if you'd like to begin.
Sure.
Thank you.
This is Bagat Salakia. I'm the chair of NY Create. I'd like to welcome the directors to the meeting. Due to public health concerns, this meeting is being held via teleconference as authorized by executive order of the governor. The webcast is available for members of the public to listen to the meeting, and we'd like to welcome those who are listening via the webcast. I would like to request everyone to mute their phones when they're not speaking to minimize the background noise. Also, please identify yourself when speaking and whenever you make a motion or vote. When we do vote, we will call out each director's name for their vote so we can accurately record it. I'll now do a roll call of the participants in today's meeting. I'll begin with the directors who are participating in the meeting. Michael Abbott. Present. Alicia Barton.
Present.
Christine Chung.
Present.
Michael Frame.
Present.
Franklin Hecht.
Present.
Dr. Mangling Chow. Brad Johnson.
Present.
Joan McDonald. Kristen Proud.
Present.
And Kenneth Tompkins. I will now do a roll call of our member designees. The first is Kevin Yunus, the Chief Operating Officer of Empire State Development. He's the designee of the Chief Executive Officer of Empire State Development. And Todd Lawson, Senior Vice Chancellor and Provost of the State University of New York. He's the designee of the Chancellor of the State University of New York.
Present.
I'll now do a roll call of the officers who are participating in the meeting. Dr. Douglas Gross.
Present.
Patricia Arciero Craig.
Present.
Paul Kelly. Scott Bateman.
Present.
Timothy Taylor.
Present.
And Patricia Buckles.
Present.
Thank you. I'll now ask the directors if anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to the items on today's agenda. If you do have a conflict, please make appropriate disclosure on the record now and recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to this item. So I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the NY Create meeting from March 20, 2020.
Franklin Hecht, I make the motion.
Second, Alicia Barton.
Thank you. Are there any corrections? Okay, if there are no corrections, then I will ask each director for their vote. Please indicate your vote with A or nay or abstention. Michael Abbott?
I vote yes.
Alicia Barton?
Yes.
Christine Chung?
Aye.
Michael Frame?
Yeah.
Franklin Hecht?
Yes.
Brad Johnson?
Yay.
Joan McDonald? Kristen Proud?
Yes.
Kenneth Tompkins? And my vote is yes. The minutes are approved. I'd also like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the NY Create meeting from April 21st, 2020.
Brad Johnson, so move.
second?
Franklin Heck, second.
Thank you. Any corrections? So I'd like to ask each director for their vote. Michael Abbott,
Yes.
Alicia Barton,
Yes.
Christine Chung,
Aye.
Michael Frame,
Aye.
Franklin Heck,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Aye.
Joan McDonald,
Aye.
Kristen Proud,
Aye.
and Kenneth Tompkins. And my vote is yes, so the minutes are approved. I'd now like to introduce Kristen Proud to give the Finance Committee report.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samakia. The first order of business from the Finance Committee this afternoon is related to resolution number 190. It is an extension of authorization for access to work by Cree Inc., and that is at the Marcy site of Fort Schuyler Management Corporation. I'd like to ask for a motion at this point to consider and adopt FSMC resolution number 191, extension of authorization for access and work by Cree Inc. at the Marcy site.
Franklin Heck.
Is there a motion? Thank you, Franklin. Second?
Christine Chung.
Thank you. So for background, at our last board meeting, as you will recall, on April 21st, 2020, the board approved FSMC Board Resolution number 190, pursuant to which FSMC consented to a license agreement between EDGE and Cree Inc. This is known as the license agreement, and approved related agreements with respect to the new state-of-the-art 200 millimeter silicon carbide and GaN device wafer fabrication facility, or fab, that will be built at the Marcy Nano Center. This is known as the Marcy Nano Center project. Pursuant to the license agreement, Cree was granted access to the Marcy site to perform initial construction work in order to avoid delays in its construction schedule, pending the completion of the various legal agreements necessary to advance the Marcy Nano Center project. The license agreement will terminate on the earlier to occur of the execution and delivery of the EDGE Cree sublease, a default of the license agreement, or termination other than due to the execution and delivery of the EDGE Cree sublease, or May 11th, 2020. The board resolution also authorized approval of a related escrow and guarantee agreement and other associated agreements necessary to effectuate the resolution. The escrow and guarantee agreements will remain in effect until the Marcy Nano Center project is fully completed. The parties are currently finalizing the legal agreements for the project and seek to amend the license agreement in order to extend the date contained within the expiration provision therein from May 11th, 2020 to May 22nd, 2020. This will be the amended license agreement. And to make any necessary amendments to the guarantee agreement, escrow agreement, and any necessary or associated agreements. FSMC now desires to consent to the amended license agreement and to have its finance committee empowered to approve on behalf of the corporation consents to any further amendments to the license agreement and, as may be necessary, approve any amendments to the guarantee agreement, the escrow agreement, and any associated or necessary agreements. The Finance Committee approved a resolution 1, approving and authorizing the corporation to consent to the amended license agreement and to make any necessary amendments to the guarantee agreement, escrow agreement, and any associated or necessary agreements. 2, approving and authorizing the president and treasurer, each of them without the other, on behalf of the corporation, to consent to the amended license agreement and execute, acknowledge, and deliver any necessary amendments to the guarantee agreement, escrow agreement, and any associated or necessary agreements, and take such other actions as are necessary to effectuate this resolution. 3, authorizing the Finance Committee to approve on behalf of the corporation consents to any further amendments to the license agreement, if necessary, with respect to its expiration, and approve any necessary amendments to the guarantee agreement, the escrow agreement, and any associated or necessary agreements. and 4, recommending that the board approve these same actions. So the action being requested with regard to resolution number 191 is approval. And at this point, I will open it up to any discussion or questions from the board members. Okay, hearing none, I will now ask each. I'm sorry, was there a question or a comment? Okay. So we'll now ask each director for his or her vote on the motion to adopt resolution number 191 as stated above. Starting with Michael Abbott.
I vote aye.
Alicia Barton.
Aye.
Christine Chung.
Aye.
Michael Frame.
Aye.
Franklin Heck.
Aye.
Dr. Meng-Ming Tsao. Brad Johnson.
Aye.
Joan McDonald.
Aye.
Dr. Samakia.
Aye.
Kenneth Tompkins. Okay, and I would also like to be recorded in the affirmative. So the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Resolution number 191 is approved. The next item from the committee is a lease agreement with Glauconex. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to consider and approve a lease agreement with Glauconex, Inc.
Joan McDonald, so moved. And Joan McDonald, second.
Thank you. So Glauconex is a specialty pharma research company, and it has leased 346 square feet of lab space in the CSTEM building since 2014. Its lease expired on March 31st, 2020, and it's now seeking to extend the lease for 2 years with options to renew for 2 terms of 12 months each. The company will pay $24.53 per square foot for 346 square feet of lab space, plus fees for parking and certain specialized gas and water supplies. This represents a 2% increase from the current rent, and the rent will continue to escalate by 2% annually. The proposed lease represents a small fraction of the total building. Therefore, an appraisal of the fair market value of the asset is not practical. Staff has determined that the lease meets fair market value based on other existing leases in the building. The Finance Committee approved a resolution, 1, authorizing and approving a lease amendment with Glauconex in the terms described above, 2, authorizing the President and the Treasurer, each of them without the other, to take such action, including without limitation, to approve, sign, acknowledge, and deliver the amendment in such form as either of them may deem appropriate as are necessary to effectuate the resolution, and 3, recommending that the Board approve the same action. So the action requested of the Board this afternoon is to approve a resolution, 1, authorizing and approving a lease amendment with Glauconex in the terms described above, and 2, authorizing the President and the Treasurer, each of them without the other, to take such action, including without limitation, to approve, sign, acknowledge, and deliver the amendment in such form as either of them may deem necessary and appropriate to effectuate the resolution. At this time, I will open it up to the board members for any questions or discussion. Any comments? Okay. Hearing none, I will ask each director for a vote on the motion to approve the lease amendment as stated above. Starting with Michael Abbott.
Aye.
Alicia Barton.
Aye.
Christine Chung.
Aye.
Michael Frame.
Aye.
Franklin Heck.
Aye.
Dr. Meng-Ming Tsao. Brad Johnson.
Aye.
Joan McDonald.
Aye.
Dr. Samakia.
Aye.
Ken Tompkins. And I would like to be recorded in the affirmative. So the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. I'll turn it back to you, Dr. Samakia.
Thank you. I would now like to introduce Michael Abbott to give the Audit Committee report.
Thank you, Dr. Samakia. I'd like to ask for a motion to consider and adopt a resolution authorizing certain tax filings for Fort Schuyler Management Corporation.
It's Kristen. I'll make the motion.
Second?
Franklin, I'll second.
Thank you. Port Tyler Management Corporation engaged KPMG to review its tax filings for the year ending on June 30th, 2019, pursuant to authorization by the board at its September 12th, 2019 meeting. Filings include the IRS Form 990, the New York Char 500, and IRS Forms 990T in New York CT2 and CT13. The filing date for all these forms, except the New York CT2 and CT13, has been extended to July 2020. The CT2 is a corporation tax summary return, and the CT13 is an unrelated business income return. Both forms are due to be filed by May 15, 2020. The IRS Form 990T, exempt organization business income tax return, reports the same information as the CT2 and CT13 and is due to be filed by July 15th. A copy of this return, although not due until a later date, must be attached as part of the CT2, CT13 filing. KPMG has completed its review of the CT2, CT13, and 990T tax filings. The FSMC Audit Committee approved a resolution authorizing these tax filings and authorizing the President and or Treasurer to sign and file the tax filings on or before their respective dates, and to take all action necessary and appropriate to effectuate such action, and recommending that the board approve the same action. The requested action is to approve a resolution authorizing the CT2, CT13, and 990T tax filings, and authorizing the President and Treasurer to sign and file the tax returns on or before their respective due dates, and to take all actions as are necessary and appropriate to effectuate such actions. Is there any discussion or questions on this matter? Hearing none, I will ask each director for the vote on the motion as stated above. Alicia?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Michael Frame?
Aye.
Franklin?
Aye.
Dr. Mengling? Brad?
Aye.
Joan?
Aye.
Kristen?
Aye.
Dr. Samakia?
Aye.
Ken? I would also like to be recorded in the affirmative vote. Therefore, the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Thank you. Dr. Samaki, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Is there any new business to be considered? So given the change in meeting logistics due to public health concerns, we notified the public of the opportunity to send in comments via email prior to the meeting. We have not received any comments. We are in the process of scheduling the next meeting, and you'll be informed, and it will be posted on the website once we have a date. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.